Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Pull me again, you can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't pull me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste and bust a man to statue. Say me like a cash, but they got in a figure too. Take the spit of money, God, and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above him, him a got a bet. But it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me,
300% free.
it burn me,
Garbage pile of the day.
it burn me,
Give the teacher them
it
raise.
burn me,
I see corruption please.
it burn me,
Mash down the people them house.
it burn me,
Every day appear arms out.
it burn me,
Appear money them a thief.
it burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't pull me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promise it, none of them no deliver. Cut up the youth, them rap and they down in our river. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me,
On them treat the market man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the cat man.
it burn me,
On them treat the peanut man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the dirt man.
it burn me,
On them a treat the son man.
it burn me,
How them a treat policeman.
it burn me,
How them a treat soldier man.
it burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't.
Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good evening, and welcome to the Global Television Group. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Good evening to Instagram, TikTok, and of course, good evening to the Globalists on YouTube channels. Where is our $3 trillion? Where with $3 trillion there is the big question. The government and its supporters and cahoots would want you to believe that nothing of such, no money is missing, but they cannot prove the spending to us. Neither can they provide documentation of where $3 trillion is. But them don't want nobody to talk about Prime Minister, you name them all abroad. Everybody pick up the story. Good evening, and welcome. Cousin Damian Scott on IG. Good evening. Thanks for the follow, Tina. Good evening to Kathy. Good evening, Wayne. Good evening. Thank you all for joining to my community party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, via subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening. Real Sweet, Sharon Bernard, Jason Kane, Michelle Lewis, Michael Nepes, and Shine. RJ, good evening. Afi McCullough, Karen Albanro, Canadian Girl, good evening. Christine Gilbert, Gloria Morris, good evening. Gloria Morris, thank you very much for your contribution to our Christmas break and the whole globalist program. Thank you very much for your contribution, Gloria. Very much appreciated. Browse, good evening. Ransford McLean, good evening. Rose Sweet, Raymond G, Colin, Ladybug, Sandra Ellis, Christina Time, Empress Deb, good evening. Thanks for the super chat, EM. Thank you. Good evening, all, and welcome, Monica Wills. Good evening. The Prime Minister named the abroad. Because we don't want, let me start by the PNP them first. Lazy opposition equal lazy government. Julian Robinson. The country don't pay Julian Robinson to sit down, pan him hand. The country does not pay Julian Robinson to sit down and speak nicely. With all this financial debacle of this government, fraud, scamming, money missing, money unaccounted for, you mean Julian Robinson is so quiet? Yes, a few press conferences here and there. But you mean Julian Robinson and the PNP is so quiet when every day them to get up and throat Andrew Holness and in crime against the public purse, Andrew financial crimes, Outer Road, Colleen Richards. The People's National Party are way too quiet. Julian Robinson wasn't appointed to stay there, Sonia Ellis, and just wait to become finance minister. Julian Robinson is meant to investigate and throw them out to the public. Julian Robinson meant to hold Favour Williams to account. Julian Robinson meant to call out Andrew lack of integrity when it comes to government finances, his personal finances with regards to his statutory declaration. Janet Brissett. The People's National Party are way too silent, and the tantamount of corruption that this government has to throw at us. Even the international papers such as Caribbean National Weekly, I speak louder than the PNP. Look on the PNP them page. If you see them a keep up no riot over the $3 trillion. Look over the PNP them page. How much riot you see them a kick up over there for the amount of money we're missing in our country, the amount of money that cannot be accounted for. And the PNP is definitely silent about all of this. And them want we to think that they are going to be a robust government against corruption. When on sit down and let Andrew get away with so much, the People's National Party doesn't highlight Andrew crookedness enough. Grace Linton, how are you? They don't highlight Andrew crookedness enough. They don't highlight Andrew mismanagement, Andrew nepotism enough. Paulette Lewis, how much have they said on this new Integrity Commission report where Andrew Holness is trying to distance himself from this Integrity Commission report? It has nothing to do with me. I'm not a director. I'm not a shareholder. I do not own this. I do not own land. But how your son gets so much wealth, though, Prime Minister? Where your son get those wealth and assets from? How did your son become a director of a company belonging to you? And it have absolutely nothing to do with the Prime Minister. It's news to the Prime Minister that the Integrity Commission cannot call up him name. It's news to the Prime Minister, Mussolini. Prime Minister Mussolini said he's been targeted. Them a text set upon him. Them bad mind him, Patrick Evans. Them bad mind him. Them a text set upon him. Them a try to stain up in good character. Max Romeo, come with the idiotness already, Vegas. You come with the idiotness already? Do you need a court to declare corruption for it to be corruption? I saw you fool. Eh? I saw you fool. That if the court don't declare it, it's not corruption. Okay, continue. Mussolini want to have us believe this has nothing to do with him. But the Prime Minister's son have wealth. The Prime Minister's son is a director. The Prime Minister's son is constructing multi-million-dollar apartment. And it has nothing to do with the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister's son has never worked. This has nothing to do with the Prime Minister. That's why they're telling us $3 trillion isn't missing. But can you provide us the appropriations account? Can you provide the auditing that that money was spent on X, Y, or Z? A yearly report that you're meant to submit. You're 8-9 years behind. And you're saying to us, a lie Jeanette Calder tell, a lie Pamela Monroe Ellis tell. But neither you nor Rachel. Wait till for Rachel Mussolini report come out. For Benito and for Benito integrity report drop. It's causing a tickle and a tizzy all across the Jamaica Labour Party. And Donna Rachel, for Donna Rachel integrity investigation report, no release yet. Because Juliet have to be one of the 8 illicit. because Juliet Holness washed a lot of drugs money for her brother. The 2020 general election, that drug dealing brother in Florida gave $10 million to Andrew and Juliet for campaign. That money is being washed by Juliet in her property development portfolio. So me don't know what it's going to be when Fidana Rachel investigation report job. I'm getting more and more closer to think and believe, based on the amount of money missing from Pernell Charles' ministry, I do believe Pernell Charles is one of those who are under investigation for illicit enrichment. Hugh Robotham. Wait till Dana Rachel the whole way wait pan. Because when for Dana Rachel report job, it's likely to be worse than the Prime Minister, you know. Because Juliet clean up all heap of drugs money. But I want to ask the US something. Why are you protecting Andrew? Because you've investigated Andrew under the Magnitsky Act, you know. I've pulled it up earlier this year, Evan Bradford. And I asked Andrew Holness some questions when I spoke about his Magnitsky Act investigation earlier this year. I asked him, do you own property in the United States? Do you own property in Oxfordshire in the United Kingdom? Your property, your sister property, Andrew Holness, is that property really owned by you, by your sister, or it is one of your other sins that your family member is holding on to for you? That property your sister owns, is it your property or your sister's property? Why the US protect Andrew Holness, I don't know. Because they have information. You see, just like how them indict those in Bahamas the other day, the US have those information on Andrew. And I want to take you down a bit of memory lane, Andrew Holness. You remember the other day, a few months ago, you told us you're going up to the United States to give them the name of drug dealers. We haven't heard much about that, but I want to ask you a few questions on that. I want to ask you a few. Moderator, block Max Romeo from my page. You see, once them come over here and start calling up other bloggers' name, block Max Romeo for me, please. You said you're going up there to give them name of drug dealers. The question is, Andrew Holness, the question is, were you questioned by FBI or DOJ investigators when you went up? The reason why I'm asking that question, you said you're going up to ask those questions You said you're going up to give them those information. That prime minister could have been done through a diplomatic cable. Monica Harton. That could have been done, Prime Minister, through diplomatic cable. You don't have to travel to the US to provide such information. This is why it leads me to ask you the question. Were you questioned by DOJ officials? Or were you questioned by the FBI? Because you don't need to go Washington, New York, or wherever to give such information to the United States investigators. All of that, Prime Minister, can be supplied by diplomatic cable. All of that, Prime Minister, could be done between your officials and the US Embassy officials in Jamaica. Rosemary Samuels. You really don't have to go to the US to provide the US name of drug dealers, scammers, or whoever. Me never see Bruce Golden go up there go provide them Dodos name. The US have all them investigators in Jamaica and all over. So if it's about naming drug dealers, Prime Minister, why did you go to the US to do that? And who were the people who you've named? All of that could have been done in a diplomatic cable, Colin James. So it really doesn't make sense what you're saying. But Fly Mongoose, your name gone abroad. The Caribbean National Prime Minister, Caribbean National Weekly. It is quite a widely read medium, Prime Minister. It's read widely across the Caribbean. It is also read widely within the Caribbean diaspora, North America, including Canada, Europe, and all over where we are, Prime Minister. We turn to the Caribbean weekly for a roundup of what comes out of the Caribbean. So once you hit Caribbean Weekly, Prime Minister, even if your friend them in New York, Washington, and London, and Ottawa hasn't picked it up, the fact that you're in the Caribbean Weekly, unique rate, Fly Mongoose, your name gone abroad. Your name gone abroad, Prime Minister. All of them foul egg them, where you tear down the chicken coop and suck out. Everybody know about now. Everybody see you on road. Them clutch onto them purse and them hook onto the other side because they know that the Jamaica Prime Minister is a pickpocket, lift shot Prime Minister. Never had a Prime Minister engulfed in so much disgrace and corruption and dubious financial dealings. But this Prime Minister shamelessly roll on as if nothing is happening. As if the world does not see his criminality. As if the world, Prime Minister, is not talking about the trillions that you are unable to account for in our budget. While at the same time, Prime Minister, you're under all sorts of integrity debacle, all sorts of, you've been referred to for investigation of financial crimes. This government is a disgrace. This is the image of Jamaica internationally. Catherine Happiness, Miranda Rudder. This is our international image. Favor is saying that no money no missing. But them say work on them backlog accounts to be submitted. Let me say this, Favor Williams. I've worked in the private sector. I've worked at the administrative level, Favor. If you have not met your target for 1 year, you are going to have an appraisal, and whatever a help or assistant you need will be offered to you to make sure you meet your target. Next year, or next target you've given, if you don't meet your target, Favor, then there could be consequences to that. But for the whole cycle of 2 term, when you have outstanding appropriations account, something you're meant to submit annually audited by the Auditor General. And you expect us to believe that for whatever reason, all of these are outstanding for 8 years? 8 years. In any company, if you fail to meet your target in a year, in 2 years, that company is going to face serious consequences because the company is not meeting its target. So that means what you are saying to us, Ms. Williams, is that the government isn't working because nobody across government cannot meet their target. So we just spend like Dr. Tufton there spent in a COVID. Dr. Tufton, who gave out contract that does not go through the appropriations, the proper procurement procedure, and there's no formality of the contracts that Dr. Tufton issued out. Ron Holness, how are you? So therefore, Favor, I tell you, we say, we're fool are them incompetent. It's either she has said to we say, uno a fool, or she has said to we are incompetent. And I would more stick to the latter, Favor. Because if this is not criminality at best, the lighter part of it we can settle is highly incompetent. Because the accounting system across government is not working. There is not a workable accounting system across government. In a today, modern day, fingertip, world in the palm of your hand days, you can have a software accounting system where every I dotted and every T crossed, and then you wouldn't have a problem with your annual audit because you don't write down things on paper here. You don't have a receipt book here where this your page missing or this your missing out of the hardcover book. Willie Down, how are you? If the money not missing, provide us the proof of where it is. What have you done with it? The money won't get annually from the national budget. How have you spent that money within your ministry? That's what we have not been told by this government for the 2 terms. 2 whole terms. and they're unable to tell us how they spent our money. And then the Prime Minister's side chick roll up in a Mercedes Benz, say, look here, we get this and we get that, but we're going to get to your road. Remember, we are running a boycott campaign, Librans Tucker. Libert, period. Abena Sarkodi, how are you? We are running a boycott campaign against MoneyGram and Lascochin because they are running a racketeering against us. So remember, this Christmas period, do not send any money using MoneyGram or Western Union. Find other means of sending money to Jamaica. By any other means other than Western Union and what's you might call it, MoneyGram. They are racketeers, they are extorters, they're scammers. So we must at all costs avoid using MoneyGram and Western Union. The easy jerk world. Well, go on, bro. If you're unable to hit the like button, you can drop us a super chat. There we pin you our super chat goal. Let me pin you a super chat goal. So if you're unable to hit the like button, you can just donate to the super chat. Or if you want to donate to the PayPal in the description area, the Zelle, anything you want to do, but make sure you support the problem. No Western Union, no MoneyGram. No Western Union, no MoneyGram. That's the boycott, Michelle McKay. How are you? That's the boycott because MoneyGram have a new system where they're not paying out cash anymore. Chaleo Banaris, they're giving you a Visa card. And that Visa card, you have to maintain it with $300 per month. And if you don't keep your bills up to date, you know what's going to happen? They withhold your transfer until you clear the debt. So we must boycott Lascochin and Western Union. Them no more than we. If them no suck for blood, you know, them die out like mosquito. Them a mosquito, them have to suck with blood to survive. If we repel these mosquitoes, them have to go out, they go die because them not have blood to feed pan. So no stay there. Continue to feed the mosquito. Jeanette McIntosh. Sagicor. Again. Another December. Again. Correct me if I am wrong. The two sisters, the Moulton sisters, were rub up Sagicor. Was it not December 2022, Margaret Wilson, that their debacle came out? I'm wondering, does Sagicor have a December fraud problem? Because I'm sure the Moulton sisters, their disgrace came out in December 2022. Donnet, how are you? Does anyone remember the Sagicor scandal with the two sisters? Was it not December of 2022 that story broke? At that last scotching one, with a maintain last scotching visa card. And that may I tell the people them boycott last scotching, because last scotching is saying make we tap into. Yes, but what was the outcome of it? That's what I was thinking to the door. I think they're still awaiting trial, you know, Jeanette Brissett. I think those two sisters are still awaiting trial. It looked like Sagicor have a December problem, Marjorie Goldberg. Debbie Jarvis is quite busy, you know. She's quite busy at the moment. She have something sorting out. It looks like Sagicor have a December problem, because here comes another December again, and Sagicor at it. That's why me I tell you, say, on a move on a money go put over Scotia Bank, because you don't hear December 14 sunshine. Say. And see the December 16, you know, at it again. Sagicor at it again. Only who have on the money is Sagicor. And what you call them there? Sagicor and NCB. Only not fret. So every time scammer decide to go up on a rampage, them go over Sagicor and them go over NCB. Why una don't make sure una put una money, if una must keep una money in a bank, una keep it in a safe place? As crooked as Justin Trudeau be, Scotiabank is a Canadian system, a foreign system. Them not in a leeching and him friend them doubling. Una no see say all the time scamming break loose. It break out in these banks where under the Jamaican loose regulation system, loose investigatory system. That's why SSL got away with it under the Eagle Group, and they got away with it under SSL. Because we don't have our mocha no robust like the FBI. We have to skin out and turn out everybody and throw it what them have over out of that, make the whole world see all of what they have stolen. But as I'm saying to you people, beware of where when you put in the money these days. Look at the banks where the whole heap of fraud now go on. Look at the banks that doesn't have these tantamount of weak securities like NCB and Sagicor. When you not fret over on the money. These people are scammers. They're running banks, but they cannot pay for upscale cybersecurity. Because if the cybersecurity was good enough, one, and two, if so much on internal staff were not involved, it wouldn't be so wide scale. There's a lot of internal job going on. That's why it is so wide scale amid the very flimsy cybersecurity, where NCB and Sagicor operate. I wonder if this Prime Minister is serious about corruption. Because if this Prime Minister is serious about corruption, as he said, the Prime Minister and Dalrymple ought to step aside. They do not have the integrity to continue in government.
19.
I couldn't leave this stage without saying to you that corruption is not an issue that occupies the front of my mind.
What a wicked bumble old boy, this father God.
I couldn't leave here today and say to you that we still need to tighten up on the new anti-corruption systems and framework that is in place. In a sense, if you were to compare Jamaica to all the other countries in the Caribbean, our framework for anti-corruption would be the most advanced.
What a wicked bumble old boy, this father God.
It is not for want of putting in the legislative and institutional processes. They are there. But you have to bear in mind that we are also very new on the scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere, and that message goes.
What a wicked bumble old boy, this father God. Oh, he lie and blood clot me when me tell him that.
Well, leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs.
What a wicked bumble old boy, this father God. Oh, he lie and blood clot me when me tell him that. What a wicked bumble old boy, this father God. Oh, he lie and blood clot me when me tell him that.
All right, Prime Minister, if you're serious about corruption, there's a lot of actions that you need to take at the moment. Them wrap up around your Prime Minister, they must strangle you, they must stifle you, you can't move forward because of these tingleration, the easy jerk word. Thanks, bro. Because of the amount of corruption, tangle up, tied up, and wrap up around your handle, you cannot move forward until you clear up the blood stain of the lack of integrity that splatters all over you. Now, what you need to do, Prime Minister, Norman Brown needs to step aside from the UDC and from the NHD. Marissa Dalrymple Filbert need to step aside. And I want to say to Marissa Dalrymple Filbert and the General Legal Counsel, I know that you are waiting until the trial, but we are going to watch and see if you are going to take action against Marissa Dalrymple Filbert if she's convicted on trial. Barbara Simpson. But if you're serious about moving forward from this Prime Minister, Dalrymple needs to go. Norman Brown needs to go. Yourself, Prime Minister, would really needs to go as well. But if you think you have to tug on without one, going, or two, calling a general election, then you must remove Norman Brown and Dalrymple. Hang them out to dry. It's what you normally do. How can we believe you when your government continues to block prosecution of Royal Reed and friends? Your government blocked FID from bringing prosecution against those within the SSL fraud. You, the Prime Minister, who has pushed off your crimes and your fraudulent dealings, your untoward dealings, Prime Minister's a disgraceful behavior, you know. And in the gang world, Prime Minister, you would have been shot. And let me tell you why you would have been shot, Prime Minister. The code within the gangster world, a world you dabbled in, Prime Minister, you ought to know that you don't throw another gang member under the bus. You take the rap, you sing to the jail, swag your pants, and come back from prison, Prime Minister. It is how it works within the gangster world. The minute, Prime Minister, you thought throwing another gang member under the bus, it's tantamount to suicide, because somebody in the gang is going to take you out because you're not trustworthy, Prime Minister, are you? Firstly, you threw your mother and father under the bus. You threw your mother and your father under the bus. Come back here now. You're throwing your sister and your son, Prime Minister. This is how disgraceful it is. You rather your son be tarnished in public in order to lighten the burden of your corruption, Prime Minister. Isn't this a disgraceful behavior? Where your son, Prime Minister, who should have gone off to University of the West Indies or foreign, one normally send on a picnic at university. Your son is dabbled into political and corrupt scandal in Jamaica. And you don't see anything disgraceful about how you have dragged your family into the disgrace that you are, into the Cumberland Road gangsterism that you have brought into the stateroom with you. You are a disgrace of a leader. Because to have committed the crimes, Prime Minister, I mean, I allege them, you have committed them. It's just that we have a corrupt system that protects you. You will graduate from university broke, and all university them student loan. All of a sudden, you pluck up and turn a billionaire. A billionaire where people there work for long, for whole long, and do business for whole long and can't turn. And all of a sudden, you just pluck up stuff. Marie, how are you? And you become a billionaire. And you have asked your family to join in the criminality with you. But be sure, Prime Minister, you may get away from Jamaica, but the crime that you and your sister and your wife brother committing in the US, that crossing the US financial wire system, Prime Minister, is going to come to a head, because your wife cannot wash so much drug dealing money into multi-million-dollar mansions development You cannot tell me that your wife is not under investigation for illicit enrichment. Because your wife development is almost $1 billion. It's not far from $1 billion. But away when Donna Rachel in investigation report Japa Parliament, sir. Me not think the picnic them can take them a problem. Quotes Marine. But it's disgraceful to see how you have dragged your entire family into the disgrace with you. Most men prime minister protect their mother to the hilt. She was one of the first you threw under the bus. She opened the account from 1975. I may never know. And she may add my name to it at some. But prime minister, at the same point of recent, you were putting millions through that account where you say you never have knowledge of because a Muslim mother open it from ask the damn comfort and add your name to it for whatever reason. But at the same time, you're running millions through that bank account you're not aware of and you don't claim it to be your asset. Who owns the house in Florida? Your sister or you? Is it a part of your other crime, Prime Minister? Is it a part of your other crime that have to touch the US wire galang in, you know? If it is that the US are investigating, which they are investigating you, the fact that you go say your name drug dealer, no, you have to go answer to DOJ or FBI on the oath. Because that, Sharon Peart, if it's just naming drug dealer, it could have been done embassy to embassy. It could have been done through diplomatic cable. So the only way you would need to go US to provide that information, you would either provide it to Special Prosecutor, DOJ, or FBI on the oath, Prime Minister. Don't try to fool with. I wonder if there was any questioning with regards to Kamala 30 million, what she did tread out to you. This Prime Minister is all sorts of disgrace. All sorts of disgrace. And you have drawn your upon them underage, you have them in there, you know. Because remember you did have them in the ADMAT scandal. This is one you say, we should be ashamed about. Government to remove tax from gratuity for tourism workers. The tourism workers need to continue to push for more. What they're doing at the moment is a plantation calming down of the revolt. They're trying to calm the revolt and the plantation. What you must do is continue the revolt, because there's much more that you're entitled to. There's much more that you can get if you stand united. The working conditions and the better pay that you're asking for nationally, if you stand united across the tourism sector, I guarantee you, Christine Gilbert, they will have to meet you somewhere rather than they just make up the rules. A long time them are do it, Christine Gilbert. They just make up the rules and expect you to follow them. Their job is to enrich themselves out of you. The tourism sector does not benefit Jamaica. The better part of the tourism dollar don't come to Jamaica, don't stay there. The airliners and the all-inclusive hoteliers, they're not Jamaicans. When you book them people the package from abroad, that money don't interact with Jamaica. Them bring operational money. The little money was spent in the tourism sector of Jamaica is what you would call operational budget. Operational budget. The budget that makes the business operate on the ground, the finances that make the business operate on the ground, including paying staff. Other than that, Jamaica economy, Norman Ferguson, Nadine Dyer. Other than that, the Jamaica economy don't benefit out of tourism. It benefit the international investors and the foreign people them who own or run hotel chain. The top managers them are still the same foreign people them will own them system. Jamaica really don't get the high paid jobs within the tourism sector. So if the tourism sector now work through, we collapse it. The country on a whole not seeing the benefit from tourism, especially under this new regime of all-inclusive. All-inclusive chopped tourism into that little private sector hub, that little private investor hub, where the tourists move within the corridor where it is economically benefit for those investors, not where it is economically advantage for the country to benefit from the little spoils of tourism. So to stand together, if the industry cannot make UNO feel a part of it, collapse the industry, because they cannot work without UNO, you know. They cannot work without UNO. And them can't employ people from abroad to come fill for UNO position. Because them have to pay them the minimum or living wage for the country where them take them from. Them can't pay the minimum wage or the living wage for where them are paying in Jamaica. Them can't do that. Them have to pay them the minimum wage for where them take them from. Arlene Foster, how are you? We have power, my people. But if we don't exercise them, they don't mean anything. Just like if we don't use our vote wisely, that most precious and powerful piece of democratic tool that we have, if we don't use it and use it wisely, we're not going to benefit much from it, such as our disengagement from the political system or the selling of our votes. We don't have anything to benefit from those two. Meaningful engagement, a high voter turnout sends a signal to government that you cannot play with the people because they are engaged in the process. When they realize that they cannot buy us, they have to come to us with policies, and they have to, when getting to power, put those policies in place if they want us to return them back to power, because that's what it's about. You ask for the power, we give you the power. You promise to do something, you do it. If you don't do it, you cannot come back to us with the same promise again. But because of our lack of knowledge of the whole political structure, Angeline, our politicians get away with a lot because we're disengaged, or when we engage on tribal line and not on national lines, you see. So they always get the chance to take these liberties with us because we're not serious about our country. We're only serious about our party. And more we're seeing that the parties are about themselves. They are not about the country. They are about the party and not about the country. And the minute it becomes about the party and not about the country, then we're in big problem. That's why we continue to have the brain drain, the drain of our financial resources, the lack of development, the repackaged lies and promises to no end. And following on from Rhoda and the Prime Minister this morning, I'm wondering if this a stall set out. Gunman Homer Davis, come here. Yes, you gunman. Are we meant to take this as your achievements? I don't know. Because I see the Prime Minister set out stall. You see the Prime Minister girlfriend and nearly most baby mother set out stall. We wonder if this is a stall setting out of the gunman politician Homer Davis. Mr. Homer Davis, gunman. I'm just wondering if this is another set of achievements. Scores of residents of St. James Southern have benefited from welfare support, skills training, and work placement, says State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Member of Parliament, Homer Davis. I'm just wondering if it's a stall putting out. Because I don't know if anybody's willing to buy these few rotten tomatoes, Mr. Davis. These few rotten battered tomatoes were coming like somebody basket did sit down upon them in the chuck, Mr. Davis. I wonder if a stall you set up, because me not buy them rotten tomato there. Me not buy rotten tomato, Mr. Davis. Learning Casanova. So if a stall you come set out, do better than that. Because at least this morning, Rhoda come with one potato, one sweet pepper, one tomato, piece of pumpkin, and a slice of dasheen. And you come with just a few rotten tomatoes, sir? Come on now. I mean, you walk with more guns than the few tomato that you turn up with, Mr. Davis. But it looks like it's really a stall setting out of this government. But it is embarrassing, and especially Rhoda, I really take offense. Because what Rhoda takes to be her achievement is Rhoda come a road a throw you out on a disgrace way. To look upon them have to come beg me hospital and school fee money. And at that, Rhoda come a crowd, come tell we, and tell we say it's an achievement. Girl, we're going to rub out any stick you get in your book. Any sticky Rhoda Crawford get in our book, we're going to rub it out. It was a lie, Rhoda. You never passed the exam. Whoever tickled your fancy or whoever fancies you may tickled Rhoda to get the marks. This is not somebody who can think critically. Because if you could have think critically, Rhoda, you wouldn't come out here, come take your own money, tell we, and tell we, say, oh, that's an achievement for me. I have given out education and medical grants. And you're not ashamed to say it. You're not ashamed to say it. You claim it as an achievement. Public money, Rhoda Crawford. Public money. And you think the best achievement you could come up with, my dear, is to come insult us in public and tell us say you give a 9 free house. You give with educational and maintenance grant. Public money we're talking about, you know. Rhoda said the spending of public money is her political achievement. Rhoda, that's a level of dunceness we've reached in a Rhoda. Well, we may have to go study the level of dunceness there at school. Because if that's how it is easy to achieve, Rhoda, anyone who could have worked and spend with money and achieve. No, so? As pretty it out as highlight. Public money. Public money is Rhoda's achievement. Don't know what the housing solution you're talking about if the 9 home intertwine into it. But I'm sure Juliet Holness Development have more than 9 apartments. You said there's housing solution. I don't know if it's the 9 home you're talking about or you have other housing development in your constituency, affordable housing to buy or rent. But I find it very shocking for a millennially educated woman to come out and put her face on camera and say these vile things, these deceptive things, these things that show incompetency and massive failure. How could you, Rhoda? How could you come out here, come do something for we, take it, tell we, then tell us that it's an achievement? Do you think any historian would write about that? Do you think there's anything for any historian to write about to say how Rhoda has worked hard to achieve, how Rhoda have put effort into this for her community, into this that Jamaicans will benefit from? You want a round of applause, don't you? You want a round of applause. Because otherwise, you wouldn't come out, tell us that you're listing your achievement. Is there anything else, Miss Crawford, that you would want to tell us about that you have achieved? Because we still a rub with eye and a clean out with ears to know what the achievements, your achievements are. You don't get the pass mark here, so. The pass mark is 40 and above, Miss Crawford. We can only mark you 9.5. You're way, way below the pass mark of 40%, Miss Crawford. 9.5% is what we can offer you, what we can score you on this sentence above. We can only score you, not even a pass mark, Rhoda. And you know, the don't say speaking in a university, Rhoda, hope for a pass mark. If they can make it to the merit, the distinction, the first class, whichever them avoid for, they hope to get a pass mark, Miss Crawford, just to walk across the graduation podium. By the rate of this, Miss Crawford, you never gonna make it, Because each paper you write, you have to score at least a 40% on it to make it across the stage. Here is a 9.5, Miss Crawford, way below the pass mark. So you have all heap of catch-up work for the Miss Crawford. Because if you come out with another list and you fail, you fail a whole subject. And so when you fail a whole subject at university, you have to take the whole subject over again, Miss Crawford. Something that has never applied to me during my days at university. I've only ever failed one unit, and I don't think it was justified. None of my fellow students thought it was justified. And it's just because I felt like I want to write my human rights paper how I want to write it and not how the university instructed me to write it. And the university failed me upon it because I didn't follow the university rules. But never have I failed a paper, Miss Crawford. But this, Miss Crawford, is a massive failure for you. Because if it's taxpayer money, because of one term you're getting, ma'am, I don't know where into the private sector you're going from here. And if it's your one term in representational politics, and your achievement of that one term, Miss Crawford, is spending public money, I don't know what you will write on your CV for the private sector. But then again, because you're so closely aligned to the Prime Minister, you wouldn't really have to write much on your CV, will you? Just saying, Miss Crawford. So if I line out on a star, come with better than that. At Christmas, we used to hope for pretty things. On Christmas, we used to Fifi. We used to the soldier man them. We used to the dolly them. Where else them buy a Christmas? All of the Christmas goodies them. Come on, man, and roll out and present the stall. So Omar Davis, Andrew Holness, and Rhoda Crawford come out. Anybody else? Nobody else have come back. We telling the farmer, we want to feel up what we mama not bring come a market, you see. We want to feel up what we mama not bring come a market. Therefore, come put out on a stall. We're ready to feel up on a stall. Because we feel up road a stall, you know. Starlight, yes. We feel up road a stall. And nothing upon road a stall for buy. Omar Davis, we just cut way past to him stall because just few rotten tomato him come out with. And we can't buy so tomato upon Christmas shopping we go home with. The one thing where Rhoda come with that could have just walk in our apron and sell. Them the one there. Rhoda don't even have a basket of food to walk around with in the market. Rhoda come with one of this, one of that, one of this, one of that. It's Christmas. We need things. We need a variety of things. We used to variety in Christmas, Rhoda. You can't just come with this sauce of thing them, so Clapper, Michelle McKay. Give a variety, man. At least, not care how with distress throughout the year. We used to look a variety in a Christmas. And Rhoda just come with a dry bread for choke with so. Bros, how you do? Not even little water for wet up the dry bread. You should shame of yourself. Your young girl will come out here and take things, tell we, and then want people to write in a history book say, oh, Rhoda have achieved news carrying. Rhoda have achieved doing things for people and talk it back. And that you want to go into history book. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Talk truth, Rhoda. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, my dear? To know, say, somebody who is expected to be a bright young lady come out and utter such rubbish. One wouldn't believe that somebody would sense, would enter the idiotness, the foolishness, where Rhoda come out here, come talk. And then when we talk about them want to say we're wicked and we're feisty, and we take set upon them, and we're PNP, and we're this, and we're that. So what if one wants to be PNP? Everybody have the right to their own political galanging. But on the comedy side of things, let us look at the future of black policing. Let us look at the future of black policing globally. This is somewhere in Africa, but have we not seen these Piotr? Have we not seen these Piotr policing within our circle? my peeps, that's the future of black policing for you. Because them love to carry out their masters' orders. But half of them, the master send them out in a tight clothes, weak and hungry. And them a come back up and trunk people out the road where nyam. You understand? Me sure you see a couple of those fling bout of police officers in Jamaica. But the sweeter part of this video is where you see like in hold it, pour them together and swing them all about. One man and two police officers. That's the future of hungry belly black polices globally. Marcia Thomas, how are you? Even if the Indian KFC, the Easy Jerk World, then would have had like a more chant. Are the bulla police, them ya? Them ya bulla and bag juice police, them now get no protein. A bulla and bag juice police, them ya lack of energy police, them. Them are police in your Peter police. Dennis Hilton, how are you? A Peter police in that there. But them your hungry police, yeah, don't afraid to take on the civilian. Them your police, you need to go ask Anvaz for a job because maybe Anvaz could provide them stone cutting or grass cutting, which weak people can do them job there. The grass cutting and the dirt cutting and the stone cutting. Ask Anvaz.
Oh yeah. Songo mbona wewe. Mbona wewe. Mobali nanga Kasongo yeah. Mobali nanga. Kasongo mbona wewe. Songa libala. Oh yeah.
Yes, Jamaican people see one new company there. Open one new company for stone cutting and dirt cutting. You understand? It have got needed to work on we road them, to fix the road them. In a the time, yeah, where government have almost $1 billion to spend on road development. Only we get contract once and provide to give kickback money. Open one stone cutting and one dirt cutting company. You don't need more than a scissors. A scissors and couple bike or bicycle to move your guy them round to go cut dirt and stone. So anybody who want to make money, see a company there. See a company there if you don't want to make stone. So them weak, hungry belly, bag juice, and Nutribullah. Bag juice and Nutribullah police. I open to go look some stone cutting and dirt cutting job. So people won't have to hold and sweel like a cup of sugar and water, them a sweel round. Worthless set us on a chain to deal with the public, and the public are taken on a plotting over one another like a basket them a plot. Well, then say a problem to come in. And this is the reason why black police rely on violence, because them know that them don't have no other policing skill, and them realize that, and them use violence to intimidate. Look here, masters, and everybody afraid down. Some people willing to ignore the power of the button and the power of the gun and challenge directly. And we often see when you get these direct challenge, as soon as you name the little bulla and the bag juice, so it blow down on the knee, start shake again, because there's no substance in a substanceless black police. If you notice, aggressive and corrupt as white police are, they have certain policing tactics to use. What all use is hungry belly or power. There's not an in-between for uno. Uno either use on a hungry belly, wanna start with, or uno use on a gun on a button for thing to say uno can subdue with uno violence. Who uno? Uno don't hear say we have the worst, we have the baddest Minister of National Security with transport gun left, right, and center. Who uno? Uno don't know say we have a Minister of National Security where bad man better than police. So the stadium will come play with the people. The people are coming to a point where the fear of gun is thrown out the window. And you're going to see that more and more right in Jamaica. The people of Jamaica are becoming so fed up, so annoyed with corruption at the top, so annoyed with extrajudicial killing and police brutality. So till one day they're going to put down their fear and confront tyranny head on. And then Jamaica will explode faster to its journey, getting down the road to Haiti. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight on the Global Television Group. Tell the Prime Minister, say, fly mangoes, your name gone abroad. Caribbean Weekly is widely read, Prime Minister. Widely read. Everybody across the Caribbean and within the Caribbean diaspora, within Europe and North America, Prime Minister. So once your disgrace of your government hit Caribbean National Weekly, fly mangoes, your name gone abroad. Thank you all very much for being here with us tonight. Join us right back here tomorrow morning for the people's point of view. And let this government be well aware, we're not going to stop talking about our money. We're not going to stop talking about the corruption. And we're going to continuously ask you to resign. It is the right and decent thing to do, Prime Minister. You have lost the credibility of the nation. It's time to do the right thing. If you cannot resign, a snap general election would do, so the country can have a say in where we go and how indeed we go forward. Thank you very much, and good night from the Global Television Group.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.